Well, good evening, everybody. Thanks for having me. I'll say that it's quite unfortunate that this could turn this awry, because it's unsporting. It's unsporting behavior. Unfortunately, we don't have a CAF that is alive to their responsibility. I'm 100% sure of that, because this has been going on, like you said, for a very, very long time. Yes, to me as an administrator, I've been through this several times over. Libya, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, I've faced things like this in these countries, and I've had opportunities and I've had reasons to, whilst even there, including Tanzania rather also, to call in CAF. But again, nothing happened. Recently in 2022, when Rivers United, I led Rivers United to play against a team in in Libya. We actually landed in Benghazi, and we got a raw deal. We got the kind of thing we never ever hoped for our enemies. But I'll tell you what, CAF should do something. If CAF doesn't do something decisively this time, then they're also complicit in what is going on.
Sorry, Bryce Green. I hear you. You say CAF should do something. But I'm wondering, is this the same CAF that was asking Togolese footballers to play an Africa Cup of Nations after their team bus had been attacked in Kambinda, players shot and killed?
That's what I'm telling you. If CAF doesn't do something, then they're also complicit in what's happening. They support what is going on. Because with what it's looking at now, it's like football is not for us, for the rest of us. Maybe for those of them in the North Africa.
When you say for the rest of us, are you saying those of us in sub-Saharan Africa?
That is exactly what I'm saying. Because we are the ones that are made to face all of this rubbish. There are so many underarm tricks, underarm things they do just to frustrate our teams. And at the end of the day, they get away with it unscattered. Maybe sometimes a slap on the wrist. Unfortunately, too, our Nigerian Football Federation did not rise to the occasion, in the sense that they were not circumspect. They didn't take all of these things into consideration. When I was there, and even in Rivers United as Commissioner of Sports in Rivers State, when we went to play in Benghazi, and I tell you what, I knew what we were going to face. I knew we were going to face the worst humiliation in our life. I knew we were going to face the greatest and worst hostilities ever, and I prepared for it. I prepared for it because I know it's becoming part of our custom, and people will say it's African football. So what I did was making sure I started with FIFA, with CAF, and I even threatened to go to FIFA because I got a link where 123 fans were saying that they were going to give us hell on earth, and they were going to unleash so many things on us. And I used it, I capitalized on it, and I had to call those in charge in CAF. And I tell you what, I got words because I was very serious about it. And I told them, if nothing happens, I was not going to play the game. We are going to boycott the game. We don't care. Well, we're not ready. It's not something that it's not worth our lives. And so they put everything on ground. They got security officers there. They spoke with the authorities. And also, me too, I also made my own arrangements. I got somebody in Egypt who I sent like an advance team to do our accommodation, transportation, and everything. And so by the time we got to Benghazi, we beat them to their game. They didn't know we were coming. Do you understand me? We beat them to our game. Our plane landed in Benghazi and went straight with our own vehicles to our hotel. Unfortunately, too, Plateau United was to play the same day with another team in Benghazi. They suffered the most because they didn't know what, in fact, they were, they're not that experienced. I'll say that. And so they played a few hours before we played our match. And so now that we're beating them in all of these, they now knew that the only thing they could do now is to now manhandle us, which they did. As we got into the stadium, the thing they now did was that they now rushed our players. And we now asked our players to get into the dressing room. And I said, General manager, get ready. You know, you have to be streetwise now. Let us now take, you have to be streetwise. Let us now take it for the boys. We're going to take all the beatings and everything for the boys. And so I went out there, and you won't believe it. Policemen, security men came after us, fighting us, beating us. And they held my general manager, you know, yanked him up and started unleashing blows at him. Took his phone. But I was a bit lucky. I was a bit lucky because I've been like dating all my life, and I'm ready for things like this. And so what I now did was to making sure, oh, this thing is gone.
No. We can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear. We can hear you loud and clear. But Barrister, the question really I'm asking is why?
I had to fight my way out. The person that saved the day was a referee Tessa from Ethiopia. When he heard what happened, he now came out from his dressing room because we were 5 minutes to kick-off time. And he now saw us and saw what was happening. And he now threatened that should this thing continue, he wasn't going to go on with the match. That was when they now gave him their words that they were going to stop it. Right, and we now went into the game. And he now heard the people and said, listen, this game, he was going to the World Cup and that he was going to make sure that he plays to the rules.
Barrister Green.
And nobody should expect any favors. And we came back on hot. That is in terms of the results.
Sorry to cut you short. You know, in light of all of this now, with this current situation, what do you think is the right thing for CAF to do to address this situation?
Now, you see, CAF, I don't think it's even lip service. I don't think they've done anything, they've been doing anything. I don't think so. For me, as far as I'm concerned, CAF should come heavily on Libya as a show of responsibility that they are ready to be fair in the administration of football in Africa.
So when you say come heavily, are we talking about points deduction? Are we talking about a sanction?
I'm coming. Not only that, they should come with a policy for future occurrence or anybody that will want to throw this kind of line, what they stand to face or to the consequences, you know, the sanctions, the punitive sanctions that will be meted against them. I was a member of the CAF disciplinary board, and I know what we used to do then. Now, what I'm going to say is this. First, that team must be sanctioned. The country's FA must be sanctioned. That is number one. Number two, every naira, every dollar, every cent that was expended by the Nigerian Football Federation on this trip must be refunded back to the Nigerian Football Federation. Also, this match should be forfeited by Libya. They should throw them out of the series entirely, and Nigeria should go through, no doubt about that, but they should throw them out and give them a lengthy ban. Others will learn from it. It is not right. It's quite unsporting. Right. It's unsporting behavior. One could die in the process of playing this kind of football.
All right, Barrister Green, thank you very much for joining us once again. You did talk about what you think is the right thing to do by CAF in terms of meting out punishment to the Libyan team. I would like to go in the angle of, we have one who, of course, has been the NFL president in the past, as Amadou Melvin Pinnick. He's also a board member, FIFA Council board member, and has also sought re-election for a second term. A lot of Nigerians are saying we are not really feeling his impact when it comes to issues like this in having a voice.
My brother, you see, my brother, let me tell you the truth. I will say the way it is. I'm of the old and of the younger generation, all at the same time, because I caught my teeth in football administration quite young, immediately after my university days. You understand me? Now, unfortunately, yes, it's tainted, but we missed Dr. Amos Adamu. That's the truth. And it's all politics. It's all politics. We missed Amos Adamu. When late Hayatu was there, Nigeria was feared. Nigeria was one of the greatest footballing nations, not only in the world, but in Africa. You wouldn't try that you wouldn't try it on Nigeria. No way. You wouldn't try it. Now, what kind of representation do we have in CAF? What kind of people are there representing Nigeria and still not face all this hostility? Is it only in playing these games? What about the kind of lopsidedness, the kind of things they do in terms of what do you call it? Approval of stadia. Are you there? Are you listening to me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Loud and clear.
You can imagine that in the entire country called Nigeria, it's only one stadium. That's the Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo that was approved. And I tell you, I got to Congo. We played in Congo. The stadium we played in Congo is not as good, half as good as what we have at the Adukia Mesbaka Stadium. And I tell you without fear of any contradiction or whatever. You understand me? And I begin to ask, what is the yardstick? What is the yardstick that they used? And there was this guy that came to inspect my stadium and said they could get some people from Morocco that will help us build this field and give us certification. And all of these things will be a thing of the past. Is that not something in the offing? Is that not something that is amiss?
Mm.
A lot of things are going on there, and people are not saying anything. We do not have any representative there. Let's say the way it is.
So,
I will not be there, and this will happen. Impossible. God forbid.
Okay.
I will not be there. Listen, we don't need 10 people to be in CAF. Make things work. We just need one person.
Fine. So Barrister Green, there are those who are saying that because Nigeria has failed to play the politics, that yes, we do have people in CAF, but they are not people of influence. That CAF is pretty much run by North Africans and it's for North Africans. Do you agree with this? That because it's in North Africa, very much a North African CAF, like some call it.
Listen.
These North African teams will not be punished.
I don't agree. Amos Adamu was just a single person. And I tell you what, Amos Adamu brought the likes of Uche Amanze and a few other persons there into sub-committees. Just one person. Now, we have some of our persons in subcommittees. What do they do there? Go for matches, match commissioner. The General Secretary of Nigerian Football Federation, Dr. What's his name now? General Secretary. What's his name?
Mohammed Sanusi.
Oh my God. Sanusi is a match commissioner. Nigeria is playing a game and Sanusi is also commissioning a match. What are you telling me?
Okay.
It's not a personal thing. We should have the interest of the nation at heart. I'm not into football for what I'll get pecuniarily. No.
Thank you very much for joining us. Barrister Chris Green, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Your voice has been heard. You've made some really, really interesting submissions. And we honestly pray that the Confederation of African Football and the football authorities around Africa will really, really wade into this matter and ensure that the Libyans are used as a scapegoat for the rest of Africa in terms of how to treat guests. Barrister Chris Green, Commissioner of Sports in Rivers State, a former NFF Technical Committee member and also a former CAF Committee member as well. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on Game On.